I just watched The Last of Us episode 4. Here are my thoughts. Spoilers ahead. You have been warned. This was a good episode that showcased the great aspects about the game, like the relationship progression between Joel and Ellie, and also the dark side of this kind of apocalyptic world with the people that it consumes, like the hunters. This episode also added something that could, be the worst part of this story now. A new character, Kathleen, the leader of the hunters. Why? Why? I just felt like this was so distractingly bad, honestly. Like, I don't understand the point of it yet. I don't think the motivation was strong enough for me to actually be invested with this new character. I find the hunters to be disturbing because they hunted people out of amusement. There was no sympathetic motivation behind it. They just hunted people out of amusement or to survive. That to me I thought was twisted enough to add an edge to this already bleak, apocalyptic, zombie, fungal virus world. I don't know. I was just having a hard time buying her in the role as the leader of the hunters. During the interrogation scene, she wasn't very intimidating. There was a lack of tension. And also, when she found one of her members dead, still very soft spoken. Who did this? We must find them. She didn't add anything valuable to the story for me personally. I'm hoping by the end of this show that changes. Besides that minor gripe, the cinematography was just striking in this episode. Just eye captivating. Look at this shot. Pedrito! This was me seeing the Easter eggs in this episode. I love seeing Bill's magazine. I love seeing the Hank Williams cassette tape. And I also loved hearing the hunters cuss out Joel during the shootout scene. It was just like the NPCs in the game. Last chance, motherfucker. Speaking about that shootout scene, this actor here deserves an award or something. It was so intense, especially when he was begging for his life. Whoa. As I mentioned before, this episode showed the light and the darkness, specifically violence in this world. In The Last of Us, fungal zombies aren't the only thing you have to be worried about. There are other threats, even the threats that emerge within good people, which is why they emphasize and encourage the theme of hope in this episode. This is why Superman appears as a reference. This episode uses Ellie to tell Joel that you have to keep going on in the world with hope. In order to combat our corrupted side, we must fight for something.